day 20, meal number 3. So I'm having here an interesting little thing. I'm picking up the theme of having a little bit of extra fat, a little more than what that I've been eating lately. And so I've made like a tiny tuna sandwich. Let me show it to you here. Here we go. So I have some Bibb lettuce, a little bit of Bibb lettuce, piece of cheddar cheese, tablespoon of tuna, and then on top I'm going to put a little top on it, and that's going to form my little sandwich that I can pick up and eat. And sometimes I'll do like this, and now it's like a backwards sandwich minus the bread. So there it is right there, and super good. I don't know, it looks like a giant thing, whatever. It looks really big close up, doesn't it? All right, so this is meal number 3, and so meal number 2, I got off track a little bit off the typical plan. I haven't included bacon in this plan at all, and I did notice that the greater amount of fat felt good to have, and so I'm not giving myself a hard time for diverting over this way. That there's some value in it. The value I'm feeling is maybe eating a little bit more fat. And I'm going to pick up that theme with a little bit more cheese here on meal number 3. And, okay, am I swinging a little bit too far towards the realm of more condensed fat in the form of cheese? Maybe, but I'm feeling really good. And I am keeping my portion size in check. It's not like I'm going to eat the whole entire thing of cheese, which, I could do, really. So in these places where we kind of move off of the conceptual plan, the conceptual plan here is always use food as our medicine, embrace food joyously to connect with our inner ecosystem and our outer ecosystem and people. And in the process of eating, making choices that wrap around low glycemic index foods. This basically means that we're eating higher protein, lower carbohydrates, and we're typically looking at a meal construct that kind of looks like, remember how I mapped this out here? Two hands of vegetables, broccoli and greens, and there's some tomatoes in there too. Protein the size of the palm of your hand. I had 2 eggs in there before, or a piece of salmon size of the palm of your hand. In this case, my protein here, this on meal 3 is a couple slices of cheddar cheese with a tablespoon of tuna. So I think this higher protein content is going to do me good. It's a little bit more fat though than what I'm used to eating. It's a small amount of carbohydrates through the Bibb lettuce. I probably could use more carbohydrate in this. I don't have to add any fat because of the cheese. Now I do know this. The quality of the fat is nowhere in the same ballpark as, say, 1/8 or 1/4 of an avocado, or say 3 or 4 macadamia nuts. The quality of the fat of the cheese is nowhere in that ballpark. So the avocado will help my body in a much better way. The macadamia nuts, and in particular, but also the other nuts, will help my body in a better way than the cheese will. The cheese might have a tendency to kind of in a way clog. It literally can clog our artery system. So I am going to be kind of pondering this and thinking about this a little bit. I do realize that I'm on the path, but I'm not on as maybe well articulated or as beneficial a choice as I could be making right now. So even as I think through it, I start to think that maybe what would I do? Would I just throw this out? And I'd never throw it out. I might cut it in half. I might just reduce the portion size, cut it in half, save the other half for later tomorrow. And I'm going to think about that a little bit here. I'm going to kind of sit with it. I'm going to slow down. I'm going to think about having this thing that I want, but maybe just seeing what it would be like to cut it in half. All right. So that's how I'm going to walk with a little bit. So whenever you get into a place like where I am right now, join with me on, go ahead and following your feeling, following your instinct, but being willing to question in a friendly way. And that's different than, say, giving yourself a hard time. Okay? I'm coughing it up. Yeah, giving yourself a hard time isn't, our body doesn't want or need that. It's going to cough it up, right? Literally, I think my body's right here participating. It's not just me thinking this stuff up, right? It's my body is fully engaged in this process here and communicating what I'm actually doing with you, and everything I'm doing, I'm sharing here. It's interesting. I would recommend that you do. Who are the people that are around you? Do what I'm doing. Videotape every single thing that you put in your mouth and talk with them about what you're doing and why. And one thing that does, I have so many people around me now that are very curious about this, right? One thing is it makes me accountable. Like all the waitresses I know around here, right? They're all very curious. They ask me, all the time if we still have that deal on or not. Remember that deal? Okay. So when it's like engaging a sense of community, engaging people, and they'll become more kind of interested and attuned to what we're trying to do, and it'll make it more fun. If nothing else, it'll make it more fun. So do your own videotape. Send me. I want to see. Send it to me. All right, so I'm going to play with this idea of cutting this in half, saving for later. That other half I might replace with, I've still got some of that chicken soup left, so I might have maybe a half a cup or a whole cup of the chicken soup. We literally could eat as much as that as we wanted. I could beef it up more by just eating this entire head of Bibb lettuce, which is super tender and delicious. Okay, well, there we have it for day 20, meal number 3. I'll look forward to see you in a few hours.